Worked. This time it actually freaking worked. Okay, cool. We're actually locked in. Let's get that all organized there. Okay, cool. I am back. Let me back this up. Okay. Here we go. Okay, I think I have the. Let me check. That's a very long delay on that, but that's fine. Okay, cool. Let me get some lights and then let's get started. Probably use this a little bit. Maybe a little bit of that. Okay, cool. Got this guy. This guy's working. Okay, I think I got everything connected. Hmm. Something missing. There we go. Found what I was looking for. Okay, I'm back. I am back. So, I guess so. I titled this channel update "New Army and New Brush." I guess let me start from the top. So, channel update. At first, my channel was like more of like a commentary channel, and I normally introduce myself as McDuff from Administratum. Well, so Administratum is supposed to be a lore channel that my wife and I do. So she did a couple videos. I think we only posted one of them, but we're planning on doing some more lore videos. And I feel like in this channel, I'd like to just dedicate time to painting. I feel like I've fallen behind on the projects that I wanted to do. It's making me slowly lose interest in the hobby altogether, and I don't really want to lose interest in the hobby. I just want to, do it my way. Now, I've had a lot of disagreements with the way GW does stuff, but at the end of the day, I don't really care about GW. I just care about what I do in the hobby, how I use my models, how I build my armies, and the way I play the game. So I do I'm not going to say like my own lore, but I really like and lean into the fact that you can just make your own chapters and all that kind of stuff. So, I originally had an idea based on the War of the Beast or the Beast Arises series. So that made me want to play Iron Warriors all of a sudden. Don't want to give you any spoilers about that series. I'm actually thinking about doing a video on that probably on Administratum. So I've got a Iron Warriors army that I want to do. So I've got some samples that I did. Let me see if I can get a good shot of one. Let's put one on a stand here. Okay, let's see if we can get like a good shot. So this is like one of the test models, what I'm going for. So that's the insignia that I came up with. The detachment is the wall of iron. Here, let me see if I can back that up, get this to focus on here. There we go. It keeps losing focus, but whatever. There we go. So just kind of a simple scheme. I'm doing yellow helmets on some of the dudes. Basically, they're war trophies, just taken from fallen Imperial Fists and Imperial Fist successor chapters. And even if it's like a successor chapter or something like that, they'll take it and paint it yellow, just as a big FU to the Imperial Fists. This is like their normal scheme. Right here, I'll put this one. So again, we got hazard stripes. The other like nice little detail is the barbed wire. That's just something that I wanted to incorporate. I'm still working on some of the lore. I kind of like left it alone for a while. So I've got these test models right here. And so here, let me back up. So I got these test models right here, and yeah, there's some demons here. That's for another project that I want to work on. But yeah, let me set that aside. And now let me show you the actual army. Let's see. Here we go. This big tray, big old tray. So we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 55 dudes here. And I'm going to paint all of them. And I got some characters riddled about. I'll totally go over some of those as we go along. I definitely want to do that lore video so that I can point people to War of the Beast, and if they want spoilers, I'll give them all the spoilers. But if they don't want spoilers, I'll kind of share little tidbits and stuff. But yeah, this is a project that I've kind of been looking forward to doing. These two are recon squads. We got guys with stalker bolt rifles, which I think look really cool. That's like pretty much the whole premise behind me doing recon. And then just because recon can take shotgun, I decided I might as well do some shotgun guys, and I got some pretty cool sculpts for that. Some Mark IV and some cool shotguns. Actually, funny tidbit, the shotgun models that I got, they were 3D prints, and the guy had it so that the pump action part of it was kind of in the middle instead of forward where it should be. But he had one of them labeled reloading and it had it all the way forward. And I'm like, oh, well, that's the correct position for a shotgun. So I remodeled, putting like a hand there. It was a whole like thing and made it so that I can have it at a bunch of different angles and outfitted all my shotgun guys with it being correct. I didn't just go the lazy route and use the model sculpts that the guy made. I'm really appreciating that he did the reloaded, because if he hadn't done the reloaded, my goal would have been to basically fill in the little gap that made you basically see that there's a track. If you look extra close, there's, I don't know if I can get it focused, but there's like a track that it runs on, and there was like a little bit of the track on the front of the grip there, of the front grip. And so what my plan was, I was going to fill that in with either green stuff or fill it in digitally. But I thought, oh, that's too much effort. I'd rather actually just model it correctly, and it actually looks better when it's, a little bit more forward. But yeah, so I thought we'd get into some painting. Probably get something going. Okay, so yeah, the next item on the list, new brush. Got this new brush, Artis Opus. It's pretty sweet. It's a number 3, so it should actually be like a somewhat big brush. To give some context, my friend likes really small brushes. I don't know if I even have one that he would prefer. He uses like super small brushes, and I'm like, yeah, how do you get anything done? You're not going to get any paint on there. Yeah, I don't even have one. Screw that. Yeah, they're really small. This is the one I was using before. It's a number 1 from, here we go. A number 1 from Winsor Newton. Let's see. Series 7. Just kind of like generic, right? It's got decent, it's got a lot of mileage. I've had this brush for well over 3 years. Just the same brush, just been cleaning it with soap. It's at its last leg. If I pull it up really close, you can see like in the ferrule there's like paint and gunk and stuff. There's just stuff that I can't get out of it. But it's a good brush. I still use it. I'm gonna use it today, but definitely gonna use the new one. And let's just get like a size comparison. I want to get a size comparison. So this is a number 1 from Winsor Newton, and this is a number 3. Yeah, definitely different. Let's see if I can get a shot. Yeah, definitely different. The 3, let me go. The 3 is on the right, and the Winsor Newton 1 is on the left. And yeah, the 3 is like a longer, but it seems to me like it's less dense. It's a little easier to see in person, but it could also be that this Winsor Newton is like well broken in, and I've stuck it in water. I haven't. This thing's like fresh and stiff, as it should be from the factory. Yeah, let's get some paint on the palette. Do we have the? Here we go. Do we have the palette in view? There we go. Okay, let's get some paint. Okay, so right off the bat, you get some Imperial Fizz Yellow. We're gonna get my favorite yellow. Where is my favorite yellow? Damn it. I think this is it. It's been sitting for a while. This is my favorite yellow. I've been falling further and further out of love with Citadel paints, and I instead have been getting really, really into Reaper. I get these Reaper paints, which I'm really enjoying. I got a set that was a Pathfinder. It was like a good set with pretty much every color and some colors in between. And I like Vallejo too for certain colors, but man, this yellow, I have not found a substitute for this yellow. Even if I stopped using GW products completely, like all the Citadel, if I stopped using them completely, I would probably still keep buying this freaking yellow. Sucks. Not an ad for GW whatsoever, but they made one really, really good product with this yellow. I really hope they don't change the formula. Who knows? They probably already have. Why is this not shaking? Get the shaker. Shake a shake. There we go. I'm just mixing the paint right now. Let's see. That's a good sign. You can actually hear the bearing. It's been a while. I mean, my paints have been just sitting. Just terrible for these paints. That's decent, but I don't think that's the viscosity that I'm really going for here. This should be a little denser. Let's keep giving it a good mix. Gonna need a good amount of this yellow. Now I'm debating just going straight yellow on the silver. Because that's kind of what I did on those guys. This thing gets such good coverage that like just 2 thin coats of this actually was pretty good. On black, I'd probably do like not even white, but like a really light gray, and then I would do this. But yeah, let's just go for it. So let's pick one. Let's pick one out of the bunch. Or actually, hold on. Let's come up with a game plan, because that's what I did with the 5 that I made. Let's get some paint on the palette. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get some paint on the palette. I know no one's watching right now, and I was about to be like, oh, sorry, I seem scatterbrained, but it's been a little while since I've painted, so this will kind of be like a nice change of pace. I'm going to have to really mess with getting the camera angles right and everything. If it looks like I'm putting a ridiculous amount of paint on the palette, it's because I am. Because, and some people would tell me, oh, well, don't even put that much on the palette because it's going to dry out before you get to it. And they're not wrong. But it's a wet palette, and I can always add a little bit of water. It's nice to just already have it on the palette in a good spot, too. Could have put it a little bit more in the corner, but that's okay because I'm probably just going to put like white there or something. What else? Paper towel help. quickly turning into a freaking ASMR channel. Let's see. Let's see if I can get this video to catch up a little bit. Yep, there we go. See how recent that is, how quick. Okay, yeah, that's pretty quick. Decent, 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 decent. Okay, cool. So we're gonna put yellow on a bunch of dudes. Let's think about the paint scheme here. So I've got, let me pull out one of the guys. So I've been debating like what to use for the symbols, or not what to use for the symbols, when to use symbols and when not to and stuff. So we got this dude, just another one that was one of the test models. So we got this symbol that I made, and then we've got this symbol that's kind of like taken from an Iron Warriors thing, where it's kind of the inverse of something you would see on Imperial Fists. It would be a tower like this, but with a sword pointing down, kind of in defense. And these Iron Warriors typically use a tower with a big old crack in the middle. And I do remember seeing some campaign banners with that in particular on the corner as like a big cornerstone. So I thought, okay, that would be like a good badge for like a veteran. I just thought in general that would be really cool. I also thought it would be cool to like signify which ones are not, you know, um, I guess Iron Warrior gene seed or whatnot, because sometimes, you know, Chaos factions and people will join other factions. There's instances where, and Astartes will join the Iron Warriors, or they'll join the Red Corsairs, or join what's the other one that I'm thinking about? Oh, the Black Legion, of course, but that's not the one I was thinking about. Alpha Legion, that's the one. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do with these guys is I'm just gonna do a similar scheme. Let me get some tape going. Let me pick some dudes that are gonna have the tape on the leg. Okay, so this one would be a good candidate. It's got like the left leg nice and exposed. I don't know if that showed up on. Oh, I still have it zoomed in. Sorry. Okay, so we got first candidate. This Mark IV dude wearing a pretty dope kind of like Mark One, a variation of a Mark One helmet, maybe a Mark III helmet. So that one we'll set aside. I think they're already, yeah, they're all set and ready to go. This dude, this guy would be really cool to do as well. So we got two Mark IVs. It'd be cool to get a Mark V guy. Let's see. How about this dude? It's got spikes on both legs. I kind of like that. Let's do this guy with just black shoulders. So let's make like two piles. Guys that are gonna get stripes on the legs. Or actually three piles. Guys that are gonna get stripes on the legs. Guys that are gonna get stripes on the shoulders, and guys that are just gonna get like black details and just very subtle details. Okay, so we'll have three piles. So this one's a Mark III. Let's make this one also just a subtle details guy. I think that fits because he's got a lot going on anyways. Mark III, he's got a cool helmet. Doesn't really need much. This guy too. Okay, now we need a guy with some yellow stripes. We're going to do this guy. And we'll do this guy. No. This guy, we'll put him over here. So now we got four. And let's get a Mark VI, dude. Maybe this guy. This guy, let's do stripes on this guy. Fuck it. Let's get them all hyped up. Okay, this guy, all black. Basically anybody that has like studs on both sides, I'm gonna do just all black on the shoulders. So we got 5, 2, and 2. Be cool if we just get like maybe 1 for here. Let's see, somebody that I can do stripes on the leg. Let's do this one. Yeah, stripes on the leg for this guy. What else? I feel like this guy would be good for stripes on the shoulders. Okay, so I think we've got our set here. So let's just write this out real quick. So we got one, two, and three. These guys are legs. These guys are pauldrons, but I don't know how that's spelled. Shoulders, whatever. And then these guys are just going to be black deets. There we go. I don't know if that came up on the stream at all, but yeah, legs, pauldrons, black details. So yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. Let me put this guy aside. Put the list over here, and then I can just, smash through these guys. There we go. So these guys are the three, which is the black details. We got these, which is the pauldrons, which will be really fun to do. I'll show you guys how to do hazard stripes freehand, just completely freehand. Let me just put this and this and this here. Actually, you know what? Let me send a link to my buddy and see if he wants to watch my stream, because that would be really cool to have somebody watch my stream. It'd be kind of cute. Let's see. That. Copy. Boom. And let's see. Go. Let's see, sent out some chats and see if I get some people. No. There we go. Okay. Cool. So I actually had a friend make like a custom book on one-page rules for me. And so that's really cool that with one-page rules you have that kind of ability. And you know what? This is actually like a really good chance to talk about in general, just like what how I feel about like just even playing Warhammer. So at first, when I was first getting into Warhammer, the setting is awesome. I mean, there's not really a whole lot like it out there like it. And so, I really enjoyed that and everything. I enjoyed getting into models. I actually got really into building terrain for some odd reason, which is kind of cool because it immediately meant that I had, terrain to play with, which is sometimes a, hard first hazard. Just you paint a bunch of models and then you have this like big hulking terrain piece, and instead you just start using books and stuff like that. Okay, let's get some other colors in here. I'm thinking let's get a blue, and then we're definitely getting a gray. Gotta get a good solid gray in there. And so I'm pulling up. Let's see. Oh shit! I've got two viewers. That's really cool. Let's see. Damn, really. Yeah. Yes. Yes, I did. I did get a lot of use out of that printer. I'm using this Pathfinder Andorian blue. I don't know if that's coming up on there. There we go. Focus. Yep. So let's get some of this on my palette. This actually kind of reminds me of what the old Magic Blue looks like. I've been having a hard time finding something that quite looks like this. Let's see if I can get a good mix out of this sucker. Chicken says hi. Yeah, man. Is that chicken? Let's see. What's up, man? I should probably just connect my small keyboard. Can I just have that like maybe just connected to chat up here? Probably. I'll figure it out. Yes, it is. Hope you do good. Yeah, hell yeah, man. Thank you. I've got it all kind of like I'm working on it right now. Let's see, let's get this. Ah, shit. Let's get this magic blue. See what it looks like. So he's kind of damn. I want to say close. This one's a little softer, but who knows? Once I give it a little, yeah, definitely softer. And this one, give it a little stir. There we go. Yeah, that's that striking blue. I think there's only a couple power. No, I don't see. Yeah, I've got a couple plasma guys, so I'll use that blue for that. Actually, I'm probably going to use red for that. I'll figure out something. I'm going to use that blue for it. Needs to be on there anyway. Always like to have some blue on the palette, even if I'm not painting something with blue. Sometimes it's just kind of handy color to have. Want to find my Mechanicus standard gray. Yeah, there we go. This is another one that I really like from GW. It's, there's a lot of shades of gray out there. You can totally just mix white and black to get a shade that you like. But this one seems to be a really good consistency that I like to use for just random metal stuff that Iron Warriors have. Like, it couldn't even be bothered to be metallic. They're just like, it's got rust and stuff. They'll just, paint it just gray. Mechanicus gray. Let's see. Yep. Hell yeah. Let's see. Hell yeah. You got 2 people viewing. That's dope. I wonder who else is watching. Totally. Talk in the chat. I'll respond to it. Oh yeah, cool. Get some of this on the palette. This will be perfect for the guns. It's like it'll be gray. Instead of making them so metallic, it'll kind of mute it out instead of taking so much focus away from the armor. because I feel like with Iron Warriors, well, I mean, for most Space Marines, the armor is the focal point, not so much the weapon that's being held. Sometimes, like if you have like a really big, heavy plasma that's on the shoulder, you want to put a good amount of detail into that. But other than that, like a regular bolter, I think gray does like a pretty good job of representing just a standard bolter for Iron Warriors. Some people do like brass color. I think that's cool, but I think it just draws the eye too much. My original Iron Warrior scheme was like very aluminum looking, and I was trying to find a primer that was more of like an iron color, and I found it. I found exactly my thing. Like, let me show you my character. The paint came out great. I think the gray looks really, or the silver looks really, really good. Yeah, this is the character. Super cool. Like, it's kind of bringing back the book for me. I'm probably going to start reading it. I'm in the middle of reading First Heretic right now for the like third time, probably this year too, or not this year. So no, yeah, for the third time in the last 6 months or so, maybe 7 or 8 months. Um, and yeah, I'm working on a video for it, so that's why I'm reading it so much. Um, and it's gonna be like a 3-parter or 4-parter video where I do like 2 parts is gonna be First Heretic, and then I'll do 2 parts of for Berserker and make it like a 4-part series where we just do like the Word Bear's journey. Maybe I'll throw in like a little filler video in the middle, where I just kind of go over some of the events that kind of go in between. But yeah, let's get some paint a brush. We need yellow. We got the gray. We need black. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? How do I not have the black already on the palette? So we got a couple options for black. Okay, so we got the black negro from Vallejo, Game Color. And what is this one? No, 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 no. Here we go. Solid black from Reaper. And this one doesn't even have the Pathfinder logo, so this is just like the standard black, which is cool that they don't have like some off black or whatever for the series. They do have a cool gray that came with it. Let me take a look. But yeah, that's also just Bones series. I'm really digging the Reaper. I have a close friend of mine gifted me a small box of Reaper paints, and I liked them so much that I ended up buying a much bigger box of Reaper paints. And that Pathfinder set is actually a 2-parter. I bought the first part, and I'm thinking about buying part 2, and just completely switching to those. Just committing to switching to the Reaper paints, because honestly, they're pretty great. I like them a lot. And then there are just certain things that, like I said earlier, like this Everland Sunset and this Imperial Fist contrast paint. These are going to be staple things that I'll just always have. But yeah, let's put some black on here. Some negro. And then let's get some of this Reaper solid black. Let's see. Okay, which one looks better? Let's give this one a little mix. There's like that looks pretty good. I think they're all going to serve the purpose. And how does this one feel? This one's even liquidier. Okay. Or more viscous. There we go. Very cool. Okay. I think we're set. Okay, let's get this guy on here. And let's get this guy on here. And we're going to do legs. So I'm going to tape off a section. I'm doing freehand for the hazard stripes, but I like to put a tape on the edge so that it looks clean. Example 1, where you have the hazard stripe so that it just stops, hard stop. I don't know if you're seeing that in the image, probably. I'm just going to say you are. And then another example, actually they're all pretty much the same. It's just kind of like on the side and then hard stop in there, because I'm not going to freehand hazard stripes on the inside leg. Like, that's just stupid. Doesn't even make sense. This totally gets the point across. And on the tabletop, you have a couple guys that have hazards on the shoulders, and then you're good to go. But I'm trying to do the hazards on the shoulders a little bit more sparingly, because I feel like it doesn't fit the lore of the battalion that I'm running, or that I'm doing. So yeah, let's get a little bit of tape. We'll get just a little piece right here. And I'll cut this piece. Actually, just a hair shorter. So we're going to put this like right about here. Let's see. No, actually, we should do the whole side. Let's do it right here. I might even just do one of these guys where it's just the knee pad. We'll see. So that seems okay. So not the best. Let's do a little better. Doesn't need to be right down the middle. I just need a good kind of cutoff point. Sorry if I'm not doing that in shot. Here it is. Just getting that tape on there. Then I want to get... Actually, I might not even need the tape on this side, because, well, might as well just like put a little piece there. But there's that little break in the... I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there's like that little like line on that leg. Let's see if I can squeeze a little piece of tape in there. I have to actually use a tool. Oh no, where are my pliers? I'll just use a little pokey. Let's use a little pokey. It's like a delicate process, and I'm trying to do it on camera, but it's also kind of tough. That did not go as planned. No, that did not go. Here, I'll just rip that fucker out of here. There we go. Okay, let's try again. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's the spot. I just need to kind of grab it. No. Oh, that's so funny. There we go. This thing needs to be shorter. Just get like less of a foothold on her. Yeah, there we go. See if I can squeeze that in right there. Come on. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. It's a little off, but that's okay, because I can kind of massage it a little bit and move it over. Ah, I got a bug. We got a bug in here. No. Get out of here, bug. We don't want you, bug. Oh, I'm gonna have to deal with that. I'm gonna have to deal with that, because that's gonna annoy me while painting. Yep. Look at that. Boom. Okay, that'll probably be the last one that I do like that. This guy's probably getting just the kneecap. So that's an easy paint or tape job. Let's just tape this off real quick. Boop, boop, boop. Super easy. Probably made it way too long, but we'll see. Okay, I'll just do a little bit like that. And there we go. And that tapes that off. I'm gonna do the kneecap on this dude. Come on. Stop turning off. Damn monitor. Damn monitor. I gotta take this hoodie off. It's freaking hot in here. Hold on. Oh, damn. Concurrent viewers. We got. Hope I do good. Yeah. I don't know what you're up to, but if you want to get on and watch, send me a message. I'm totally down to chat. Let's get this guy taped as well. Just to get that out of the way. Man, taping kind of sucks. That's why I don't tape hazard stripes, because I'm going to spend more time taping a hazard stripe than I would have doing it freehand, and I can get a pretty freaking damn good hazard stripe freehand. Like, no problem. And it's super easy, too. You can do it yourself. Actually, just about anybody that's... You don't even have to be a good painter. Just like a mediocre, average Warhammer painter, you can totally do that. It's no problem. I learned it from Duncan Rhodes, one of his little instructional videos, because my friend was telling me, "Oh, you got to tape it. You got to tape it," and I was like, I don't want to deal with all that headache, and so I did one freehand, and it was okay, but I wanted a better result, and so I looked online a little bit, saw a couple tutorials, a bunch of people just using tape. And then I was like, I came across an old Duncan Rhodes video. And I was like, you know what? Let's give this a shot. And so I watched it, and he just did a pauldron in classic Iron Warrior scheme. He painted a Space Marine in classic Iron Warriors scheme. It was an actual Chaos Space Marine, so it's not as Horus Heresy like I'm doing right now. But he did it freehand. And I was really impressed with that because that's what I was going for. So I saw how he did it, and I did that a few times, and I think it comes out great. And if you haven't already seen that video and you're, wanting to learn how to do hazard stripes freehand, I'd be more than happy to show you. So here we go. Got that all taped off. I keep messing up and going off camera. I might have to switch the whole camera angle to being on this side. I'll probably change that next time I stream just to get the kinks worked out, but I think that might actually work pretty well. I just gotta stop taking stuff out of frame. Let's bring the light a little closer, I guess. Maybe that's better. Okay, cool. Is it coming off the desk? No. Nope. Okay, cool. Very, very cool. Okay. We're about to start putting paint to brush. We're going to get these 3 legs painted, and then we're doing black on, I want to say on all 3 of these, on the pauldrons. But maybe this guy, I might do like just a yellow pauldron. I don't know. I'm going to mess around. We'll see what happens. Let me get a... Yeah, there we go. I'll be right back. Let's see. And I think I'm going to switch the mic situation next time because I'm running this kind of like podcast mic, but just by the very nature of what I'm doing here, it kind of requires me to move my head around a lot, and sometimes my head gets, you know, away from the mic. So then it kind of gets quieter even though I continue talking. Okay, so my goal is to get some painting done on these guys, and then probably tomorrow the goal will be doing a test scheme on the recon guys, because that's the kind of the bread and butter of this army, or the theme that I'm going for. And I'm really proud of these sculpts because I took a bunch of different 3D print files and I made my own stuff. So like there's not really like a recon backpack out there. Like, let me show this. I know I'm not doing a lot of painting, I'm doing more talking, but so there isn't really like a 3D print file for a recon backpack, and I wanted to share this one, but I need to make a Cults 3D account. I've shared it to a few people on like Telegram and stuff, but so GW has something kind of similar where it's just like a backpack and it's got a bunch of pouches like this. So I took that idea, kind of found a bunch of like pouches that were made for the belt, and I blew some of them up and I positioned them in various spots, and I kind of modeled it to be as close to like what GW had, but I did some extra stuff. So I also found a file for, it was like an antenna. Let me see if I could find one that has the original. I feel like I've got one. Does one of these have the original one? It doesn't matter. So basically, it was this file where you get like this guy. It was, sorry, this antenna and this kind of like, I don't know, like view with the antenna. They were together as one piece and they were really small. I changed and resized them and actually modeled them onto the backpack itself. So it's actually molded and modeled onto the backpack. Just makes more sense for it to be like an auxiliary piece. Comes out the wires. I positioned it, instead of positioning it where it just goes parallel with the backpack, I thought it looked cool just kind of sticking out of the back. It seemed like it just gave it more room for it to spin around without getting in the way. You know, something like, you know, allow. So this would be like a comms guy in the team, basically. Just going thematic, going full on thematic. We do have a couple guys with some, you know, banners, or Horse Heresy guys would call them Vexillas or whatever. We do have some banners, some generic Horse Heresy banners, whatever. Who cares? And then yeah, this is the one that from GW, right? So like this is GW, right? And then this is 3D printing. You know, that's your comms dude for Horus Heresy, and then this is the comms dude. Oh well, frick this stupid focus, bro. Stay in focus. So this is your GW freaking comms thing, which looks okay. I like mine more. I like mine a lot more. I think it looks way cooler. And then this thing's like delicate, dainty little thing mounted right on the top in the center point, just like super nudged, like barely even there. This thing's actually molded into the backpack. Like they, you know, they made these comm guys things so that you can swap either this or the banner. But like if you really, really cared that much, and I don't think they even offer the third option, unless the third option is just supposed to be that like Auspex that goes on the belt. It's really confusing what certain items are in Horus Heresy. I kind of figured it out by now, but like it was just like what? Let me see. I need a GoPro style camera. Have I missing the chat? What's going on with the chat here? Why is this chat not updated? Here, let me do a refresh. Because my chat is like, yeah. Yeah, yeah. You need a GoPro style camera, like your phone on your chest. I mean, no, like this thing in theory, once I get going painting, I should be able to get like a good zoom out of it, good angle. Let's test that theory out with some freaking model painting. Okay. Using Old Faithful, my Winsor Newton one. Let's get some yellow. Let's see how well the yellow just takes right on. And we're going to do just a thin coat. I've got a good soak there. Let's do a thin coat. I don't think I'm going to do the knee pad. I'm just going to avoid the knee pad. I don't know if I'm in shot. Let's get a little zoom in. I'm going to try and keep it in here. Let's see. And it's really hard to paint with the camera, but I think I could sucker it up. Embrace the suck, as people say. Definitely getting like a thick coat. I'm gonna get a little bit of water. Wanted thinner, but it's okay. It's just the first coat. Let's patch up the spots that I missed. Oftentimes I find going back and fixing where where it looks patchy is the wrong idea, and instead I want to just let it completely dry, and then I can put my second coat. Let's just get the edges. I think I'm missing a little. Oh, I've been off camera. There we go. I need to like check the camera. There we go. Been off camera. There we go. So not a great look, but it's just the first coat. And keep in mind, this is yellow directly on silver. So, or not even silver. It's like a gunmetal gray. So yeah, let's see. Okay. Now let's do this guy. A little bit of water. Let's get a little bit of yellow. I like that consistency where I pull it and it starts pulling back away from me in the palette. It's a little more watery than you would want yellow to be, but I think it works pretty nice when you're just trying to get a coat. So let's try this out without trying to get out of frame. Keep having to check if I'm in frame. See, this is better, or more of what I would want out of my first coat here. Just kind of like a more liquidy first coat, but it seems very thin, but let me tell you, that's some good coverage right there. And second coat's going to look awesome. So first coat on this guy is already dry, but we're just going to go ahead and move on to this dude and get the kneecap all painted up. We still got some paint on the brush. Let's just get that kneecap done. Boop, 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 boop. And whenever I'm doing color on the kneecap, I always have this kind of debate in my mind as to whether or not I want to paint the top here. And I think I am going to, because in the instance where I'm using the hazard stripes, I feel like it's really nice to have it kind of bend over the corner of the top of the kneecap, because it's really small detail doing hazard stripes on just the kneecap, but I think it'll be a nice little extra pop that it goes over the top because you'll be able to see it a little bit more from above. This one might be the one that gets the shoulder hazard stripes because he's only got the little. In fact, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and do that now. Let's get that going right now. I don't know if it's in shot. Okay, cool. It should be.
See, I'm going kind of like in a circle there. And then I messed up. I'm trying to avoid that, I don't know, that reinforcement, that studding or whatever they want to call it, the riveted on reinforcement that they put on Mark III. So we're running Mark III shoulders on a Mark IV dude because I feel like it makes the Mark IV look more Iron Warriors. You know, and tell me that I'm wrong in the comments. Or, you know, agree with me. I don't care. It's just my perspective. A lot of people look at the Iron Warriors as just someone or a faction that pretty much exclusively uses Mark III, but I look at them as more a faction that just uses strong and efficient armor sets for whatever job it entails, you know? So, like, I would think they would actually favor Mark IV because it's kind of the best of all worlds. You've got, like, kind of the premise behind Mark III from Mark II. Mark II is kind of like a more basic, bare bones armor, and then Mark III is just adding plate to the front of it. So Mark IV is just basically taking the idea and premise of, you know, like what they were kind of doing with Mark V, because Mark V, I think, came before Mark IV, because Mark V was just kind of like a shambled bits, like whatever you could piece together. And Mark IV was more, you know, refined and official, and so that's why it got marked Mark IV. And so the way I look at Mark IV is more like it's like Mark V, but you've got that extra reinforcement, and it's everywhere, not just on the back. Now, let's see if I have like a Mark III dude. And I didn't do any Mark II. I'm kind of disappointed at myself. But yeah, on the back, see, it's just kind of like regular or the new version of Mark II that GW is doing on the back of the legs there. And then with the Mark IV, you can kind of see that that whole extra armor, it's going around the whole leg. And I know it seems like it's thinner and like it's same scale as everything, but lore wise, the Mark IV is supposed to be like a very, you know, reinforced armor. Well, that should have been long enough to get these dry enough that I can do a second coat. Let's do a second coat on these mother truckers. So I had this kind of idea in my head where I'm going to paint all these dudes up, and then I'm going to save the basing for last. I'm going to save the basing for last, and my idea behind that is they're all nice and clean before they're going into battle, right? When they're first getting into battle, like Iron Warriors might have their armor a little rusty or whatever, and I'm going to put all those effects in and everything. But they're, for the most part, going into battle clean. And then when it's time, in fact, let me get a little bit of water in there. When it's time, it'll be their armor will get dirty. So uniformly, I will get them all dirty and do the basing and do all the dusting and all that stuff all at the same time. So there will be some sort of uniformity there. Okay, cool. We got that one. Okay, let's do this one. We're almost there, guys. We got like 3 just almost completely painted up. I'm joking, of course. Oh, again, I'm off camera. I think I need to move the freaking camera back to a different position because it's out of my view range. It makes it a little harder to paint because I have to keep it kind of focused. Oh, and I got it on the knee. In fact, I should have just taped off the knee there. So I guess now we're just doing the knee. Let's do the knee. Let's just include the whole thing. Why not? Why not? Let's just do the whole knee. I only did the one coat on the knee, so I'm going to have to come back and do another coat on the knee just to like kind of round it off. It's not the best coat, but it's okay. Again, it's the first coat. This one might actually take 3 coats. This one that got like better, wetter coverage is going to take just one other coat, and I think it'll be fine, and then throw Imperial Fist on it. It'll be good. This guy, literally just the shoulder in this. I might as well just do it with my hand. I need some more paint handles. That'd be cool. I used to just use like corks, but they don't secure as well. And the putty that I use is okay, but if I leave a model on there long enough and then I pick it up again to go paint, it'll kind of pop off at the most inopportune time. Really kind of piss me off while I'm in the middle of doing like an edge highlight, and then it just like falls off of the freaking painting handle, or my pitiful excuse for one. There we go. I don't even know if it's in shot. I might just take the time to move the bracket, because this is going to bother me all night if I'm going to paint and then, like, just still has issues. Man, it's still coming out kind of thick. I think I need to add more water to the actual mix. Okay, a little too watery now. But I did just straight up add water to it. So let's see. I think we're doing good here, actually. Move that around, nice and glossy looking. That's okay. Let's let the paint do its thing. Okay, and then this guy, right? Or wait, which one? No, yeah, it's this guy. Okay, second coat on this dude. Let's get a little bit of water just preemptively. Let's get a little bit of paint. Yep, get that nice consistency. You see, the difference between this one and this one was I didn't really test the consistency before I started putting paint to model. So let's see. This is pretty good. Yep, this is looking pretty good. It's a little bit more watery than I would like, but it's going to get incredible coverage. Let's see. We got this. And it's going to look kind of glossy and a little bit washed out right now. Let me get a little bit of that off of here so I can grab some. See, what I did is just dried off my brush a little bit so I can just grab a little bit off the edge there and not have it bubble up with so much thickness. Okay, this part's kind of hard. I'm going to do a little bit of detail there, just a tad. I don't know if it's showing up in shot. Probably not. Nope. Exactly. Okay, so this is a problem. While these guys are drying, I'm going to go ahead and address this issue because it's going to freaking bother me into eternity. So hold on one second. Let me get this all sorted out. Yeah. Probably should have muted the mic. Let me do.
Okay, I'm back. How's that? How's that, boys? Is that better? I don't know if anybody's actually even watching, but doesn't matter. I'm just glad I got this kind of sorted out. I'm still kind of working out some of the kinks here, but I think this should be good. Let's get another angle. Oh, this is great. I can actually Wow, I can actually just use my camera to paint. Oh, Lord. This might be like new skill unlocked, but it's gonna be like, I don't know, I'm gonna feel like I'm a surgeon or something. Or maybe you have to do it on the side. This might be something kind of tricky. I'm gonna have to like figure out here. What if I do it, just tilt the camera a little bit? Let's try this. Let me try this. All I can do is... I'm gonna have to mess with it later. See what kind of angles I can get. But for now, I think that's pretty good. I can probably, let's see, can I look over? No. I need to like actually look, and then my phone completely covers it. Let's see, can I... Sorry guys, I'm just working this out. What if I clamp this in a different spot altogether? And I put it like on the side here. And I can like flip this like that. I don't know how good that is for the light that I'm using, but let's see. It's probably not great, but I can just try it out for the night. And then I'll figure out something else. Let's see. So if I'm painting... Yeah, I think this is it. This is the winner. So I can have this. Oh, that's so good. So I can have this on the side. Okay, I think this might actually work. Hold on. Let me try something else real quick. And then I promise I'll quit fucking around. Because this might actually, if this fits, yes, it does fit. It does. Oh, but it's not a great grip. It's kind of better the other way. Damn it. It's all good. Just working out kinks. Just working out kinks. Just working out kinks. There we go. It's not great, but it's something. It's so funny. The whole GoPro connected to the chest is actually starting to sound better and better the more I think about it. Let's see. Let's see if I can get a better angle. I mean, it seems pretty good. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm just gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna mount this for the next stream, because this angle actually works really, really well. So I need something to mount this to. I haven't quite figured that out yet. This is okay, but it's not ideal because it's clamped to my light, which it might just need like a small cardstock solution where just, glue a little piece of cardstock in that spot, and then that might be good. But Overall, I think this was kind of a success. I haven't painted in a long time, so just me sitting down and getting some paint on the brush, getting some paint on the brush, and I have an overall game plan, and I've got a map layout on my notepad over here. I guess let me bring that back over and you guys can see that. Okay. Are we still connected? I don't know if I'm still connected to that. Yeah, it is still connected to that mic. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to rework this whole setup. But yeah, so we got the sheet. So basically it's here we go. Legs, pauldrons, and black details. So every time I pull a stack out of this tray, I'm going to be able to set it down on this paper and have a paint scheme already thought out in my head. And then once I have all this stuff painted, it'll be a matter of pulling out stickers. And I'd probably do them like all as a group. Once I get all of them to that stage where they need the stickers, that's when I'll apply them to each group. And so with this, we've got, let's see, that's 6 and 5. We get 11 dudes. So that's the first group. The next group will probably do like, I don't know, probably like 10 or 7, something like that. And then we'll just keep chipping away from there. I feel weird that I got all this paint ready, but I don't care. I can get all this paint ready again. It's not like the biggest deal in the world. I really appreciate anybody that did watch. It was really cool. I'm sure I did get some clips of like embarrassing clips of me trying to work stuff out. I did not get a chance to try the new paintbrush, but I'm sure I will tomorrow because I am definitely going to stream again. And where's the cap for this? Let me put the cap on, just make sure that I maintain this brush. This is going to be one of those brushes that I very, very much baby. I'm just going to baby this brush. And I like that it's white instead of black because it makes it look different than all the other brushes. Like I have a lot of black brushes and it's kind of like I'll grab one, I'll be like, oh, wait, no, that's not the one I meant to grab. And then also I gave a bunch of brushes to my son and he uses them. So it's cool to have like, oh, my nice brush is like a colored brush. Like it's white or, if it were, up to me, I'd love like just a plain gray, on a good brush. I did have a brush a while back that was like a metallic silver, which I really loved the handle. It was this shape, but it was just a little bit thicker right here, which I really liked. And it was a silver and but the problem with it was the actual brush was like a synthetic and it kind of sucked, but I really actually liked that brush. I used it as kind of just like an edge highlight brush a little bit. I think it was a size 1 or whatever, I don't know. This one's cool. This size 1's actually like a pretty decent size. It's pretty big for a size 1, I think. I would love to get a size 2 from these. Is that gonna focus? Focus, damn it. Yeah, of course it'll focus on the artist. Yeah. Series 7. So it's a 1. Where's the 1? It's like you can barely see it. It's the 1. Yeah. I'd get like a 2. I don't know. This one's okay. You can kind of see. See if we can get the bristles to focus. 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 It's okay. And then new brush. It's almost the same size. Now that I know that, I feel like I should have got the 4 or the 5 even. Because I was really hoping for a bigger brush, just in general. Well, this was good. It was good. It was a good first stream. I think it went pretty well, all things considered. And I'm sure the next one will be even better. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.